Well, it's been a while we've had a weekly update, so here we are. I've missed it and I'm sure a couple of people out there have missed it, so let's get started. This university lecturer was caught in HD camera, reportedly sexually harassing a female student in his office. Here's the video. This video really upsets me because it's a lie. Very big lie. They say cut in HD. This is not HD. This is not high definition. This is not even up to 720p. Is this even up to 420p? No. So why lie? Oh, and yes, what the lecturer did was evil and bad and stuff like that. You know, as for marks, it's still a thriving economy in Nigerian schools and stuff like that. But you know, as they say, it doesn't happen. Lecturers are forbidden for doing stuff like this, so it doesn't happen. And it's quite sad that some female students have to go through shit like this. Truth be told, what a male student go through in university and what a female student go through in university are two different things. Female students can come and give you a history of how many lecturers disturbed them and what they went through, how they were praying for their exams, and some of them told them, oh, if you don't do this, you're not going to pass. And boy students wouldn't get that. Boy students won't even notice that, many of them, except they are close to these girls, that these girls are going to tell them, see what's happening and stuff like this. Truth be told, women suffer sexual harassment and other stuff in school more than men. I'm not saying men don't suffer those things too, but won't here try to argue that men's number are close to women's number or something like that. That's what I'm saying. Blessing CEO says, love is not for me, officially selling the ring or giving it out. Blessing CEO says, as she announced that her relationship with IVD was a content creating idea.
You got me right? My G4.
From the moment I saw you trying to go over the wall, I have loved you desperately.
Well, if it was content, I think it was a stupid content for your brand. I mean, it doesn't help your brand. It actually tarnishes, if you ask me. I mean, you have your loyalists that were happy for you, saying, oh, you finally found relationship and stuff like that, wishing you well and stuff like that. For them to find out that you were just messing with them. I mean, you really pushed it hard, went to interviews and podcasts and talked about how much you were in love and things you were doing for your relationship. At this point, the question is why? If truly it was a content, why would you make such a content? It's not kind of content you make, and for what purpose? But there's another side to the story that many of us are going to suspect that no, it wasn't a content, it was actually a good relationship or actually a real relationship that you just got breakfast from, which personally I don't think that the breakup just happened now. It probably happened months ago, probably even months before that whole incident that she traveled abroad and IVD, according to the story out there, was arrested or something like that. I feel like the relationship already fell apart at that point and now you're just coming out to come and say this as cover up. That's kind of how it feels. It might be so, it might not, who knows? Write in the comment section, what do you think? Was it really content or straightforward breakfast? According to a story out there, our good friend, chairman of INEC, Mahmood Yakubu, court orders arrest of former INEC chairman Mahmood Yakubu for contempt. Well, this is funny. I do feel this might be content. I don't see why now the court is having problem with him. If truly the court is having problem with him, he might have matched on somebody's leg that he's not supposed to match, or refused to do something that he was supposed to do and stuff like that. I do remember a few weeks ago they were talking about looking for a new chairman for INEC, which people were complaining and laughing about. Now they want to arrest this one. Even if this is true, are we supposed to buy this? Because I mean, Yaya Bello is still free, walking this earth like a baller. Look, I'm just saying that this is silly. What do you guys think? Is it true? Is it content? Or does it even matter? Now, CAN, which stands for Christians Association of Nigeria. If you guys remember, reports have been coming out that there have been genocide on Christians in Nigeria. And now it's kind of like a debate. Some particular people saying, oh, it's not a genocide because Muslims too are getting killed and stuff like that. So some report came out that's supposedly supposed to come from CAN, and it said, CAN dismisses Christian genocide claim, says terrorist attacks are patternless. And then, you know, everybody buried them in every comment section you can think of. You can literally kind of call this flawless victory for the kind of of decking they got in any place that has a comment section. Then later they came out and said that whoever said this doesn't belong to Khan, blah blah blah, this and that, which I'm like, then what gave him the authority to say this? And then Khan actually wait like 2 to 3 days before they said anything, which I'm like, if you're waiting 2 or 3 days for somebody that doesn't belong to you to say something for it to go viral, that kind of says that person belongs to you one way or another. Because stuff like this, you're supposed to come out immediately and say, hey, we don't know this guy, I don't know what he's talking about and stuff like that. But anywho, I mean, even El Buba had to come out and talk about it and say, yeah, actually there's a genocide going on in Nigeria and stuff like that. Not to mention a lot of people went back online to see different tweets by both Khan and other politicians in Nigeria proving that, yeah, something's going on here with Christians. After a couple of days of roasting, insults and stuff like that, Khan had to release a statement which we can officially say came from them. With the short version of what he said is, Khan affirms without hesitation that many Christians communities in parts of Nigeria, especially in the north, have suffered several attacks, loss of life, and destruction of places of worship. These realities are painful reminders of the urgent need for government and security agencies to act decisively to protect every citizen regardless of region. So the shortest version to that shortest version is basically saying Khan urged justice and protection of Christians in Nigeria. That's all. Which everybody was like, dude, is it a genocide or not? Now, they may not want to say it's a genocide because of, their position, and they don't want to cause an unrest in Nigeria right now because, they're high up and trying to talk something peacefully and stuff like that, which I don't really agree to that. But basically, you have to call things what they are if that is what's going on. So what do you think the first person that talked was that person for Khan? Or Khan gave that person the authorization? What Khan now is saying, is it damage control? Or they actually mean it and stuff like that? Or nobody even should bother with what they are saying because they are not being truthful? Let me know in the comment section. So do you guys remember our Azula from a couple of days ago that they said she roasted her husband with petrol, her army husband? Well, from information out there, she's free and at home because, they have run their investigation and see that she didn't roast him. He roasted himself. I don't know. As I said, kind of matches part of the story I thought about. Plus, it will make sense that maybe some people wanted to cover it up, There's not supposed to be domestic violence on base. Not to say that it doesn't happen because I'm not saying there's proof that there is. I'm just saying for me to believe that there's just a whole organization in Nigeria that actually listens to the rule because there are no Nigerians in it is laughable. At the end of the day, if she's at home with no charges, that kind of says it all because I was kind of thinking that if somebody like that can take out an army person, Lord help us with Boko Haram. So, our loving, wonderful president, according to the story out there, granted presidential pardon to Abbott Macaulay along with 174 others. There are some stories that I read to find out what's happening and there are some I just say, hell no, I don't care what the reason is. I mean, like, what does this achieve? Do they really need the pardon? I'm not saying that presidential pardon is not a good thing, but I'm like, at what point can we clap our hand and say this is some good achievement or anything? I don't know. A couple of days ago, a girl came online and thought it would be a good thing to post this. Dating is so much work. When your boyfriend is sick, you have to pretend you are sad. And the internet being the internet, there'll be some people that will come online and see her point and, reason with her and say that, she's not wrong and stuff like that. And there'll be some that will just insult and do the rightful thing that they're supposed to do with such a dumb comment. I mean, this kind of bleeds to what I was talking about when I talked about my video about dating, cheating in dating, and some people were losing their mind, which I'm going to do a last video to, fully explain what I was trying to say there. But yeah, there are people that feel like this, that they're not supposed to feel anything for the person that they are in a relationship for. And doing it is just work. Anyway, the president of Cameroon has promised to fully provide jobs and end insecurity in the country for his people if they elect him for the 6th time since 1982. I mean, if somebody can't solve insecurity and jobs and all those stuff for 40 years, he's now saying if you put him back in office, he's going to end it now. What changed between the last 40 years and now? I mean, this kind of shows how we're not serious when it comes to our leaders in Africa and stuff like that. I mean, we'll clearly have somebody that we know for a fact and has proven for a fact cannot do this job, but for some reason we're going to put the person back in office because we are friends, which I don't even think is friends. We have the same religion or come from the same place. Look, I understand if the leader is like your cousin, your uncle that you are chopping from it, that I could understand your motivation why you're doing it. But somebody that you're never going to chop, the price of everything is going to be the same for everybody, including you. If he fucks up, we just put him there. Anyway, when the country becomes serious, it becomes serious. Right now we're not just serious. That's it. Welcome to the Bucket Cup Awards that means nothing. It's just an award for somebody leaving an awesome comment in one of the videos of the week. And today's winners are... Congratulations, your MB didn't go to waste. And that's the bottom line, because the monograph said so.